Hello and welcome. This is the unpopular opinion becoming popular, and I am Yana the Heretic. And today we're going to be talking about Gate 36. It is going to be in transit from the 12th to the 18th of March, and it is the perfect gate for the Virgo blood moon eclipse, and the perfect gate for the times right now. It happens to have struck exactly on the eclipse evening, and this is the gate of crisis. This is the gate of change. It is emotional turbulence, and it's called the darkening of the light. And of course, this all sounds very frightening, and I'm here to show you how this actually could be extremely beneficial to your nature, even though it is deeply melancholic and it is residing in our solar plexus, which is our emotional center. Since we have a lot of universal things happening at the same time, we've had our eclipse just on the 12th, the 13th, and we also are in Mercury retrograde as of today in Aries, and we are also in Venus retrograde. And as much as change causes us to be frantic in our actions, this is one of the most pressured emotional gates. So it's emotional pressure to change your life and to change your environment or to change your relationships. This brings an end to things and cycles and rhythms, and it can be extremely uncomfortable, especially if you had expectations that were halted and cut short. This could be potential goals in your career, potential living situations, or relationships that take a turn for the worse, or worse as of now, but the future is coming, and there is eventually the light out in the tunnel. This being a pressure center is extremely conflicting with the fact that we're meant to slow down. We're meant to slow down and to reveal what is hidden and to have a revelation of some sort. And that means that we really have to sit in our own fears, in our own discomforts, in order to ferment and to gain the experience that we have come to deserve or desire. And it's not the greatest thing in the world, but the benefit is that you become a deeper person. And I know a ton of people that are like, I'm just tired of suffering. I'm tired of change. If you have this gate, change is inevitable, and that is your lesson in life. You learn that the only thing that is consistent in life is change. And in all reality, if your life didn't change at all, how boring of a life is that? If the seasons didn't change, if you didn't experience sun after the spring or the winter, then you would become even worse in your demeanor, because everything doesn't alter. There's no coming of birds and bees and butterflies. There's just stillness and stagnancy. So that is why change is a really great thing, because it gains. All the gains are in experience and new experiences and new inspiration and pain and discomfort creates art. You know, we have so much that's going for us when it comes down to change, because we don't want to be in the same nationwide, you know, political issues. We don't want to sit and, you know, be passive anymore in what's happening today. And yeah, gate 36 on its own is the gate of emotional turbulence, whereas gate 35, its counterpart in the throat center, is the gate of, what was it? Change, the gate of change. So gate 35 is amazing because it is the jack of all trades. I personally have the entire channel of transitoriness, and that's 35-36, so the emotional center connecting to the throat center. And the reason why I think it's great is because not only because I have it, but it really takes you out of your norm, and it pushes you to have and attain the skills and the experiences that make you an amazing storyteller eventually in life. People who have this channel are always like, you know, being seen for how many skills they have. And eventually, you know, the jack of all trades is master of none, but master of all eventually. Or all of those different skills, they turn into this compiled mass of skills that eventually all aids each other in this map. So being able to really see change in this way, it makes you anomaly in your own set of skills, and makes you perceive things a different way. Even if other people have the same skills or have similar paths, it still makes you a completely different type of artist. And gate 36 on its own, my partner just has 36, and this is also a gate of sexual talent and sexuality, and yay for me, right? Yay for me. But yeah, these two enigmas really bring fire to the equation. But the 35-36, or 35 and 36 on its own, they get really sick of change, or sick of not having change, and it eventually is detrimental, because you're like, man, I just want to feel this fire. I just want to feel, you know, something new happen in my relationship. Or, you know, this is the type of person that likes to have fleeting relationships, or is seen to have fleeting relationships, because they need constant migration in order to feel at home in their soul and their freedom. And of course, you know, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, if I have this channel, that means it's okay to be like poly, or, you know, that may be true, but at the same time, you know, I have learned and have grown through this experience that you can have a monogamous relationship if you have this channel, and keep it extremely fiery and extremely vulnerable if you just try out new things, and if you stay inspired. And this is the gate of travel, because change is travel. You're going to a different environment. You're getting inspired by all of the culture that you're experiencing. So as long as you have change in your life, that doesn't mean that you need to necessarily jump ship, you know, and like basically like you're not meeting others' expectations of what the relationship will look like, and you end up hurting people or blazing and burning through the experience. So the reason I'm talking about 35-36 in depth is because we've actually been filtering this transit, or filtering this through the transit even before 2025. I've seen remnants of this channel, I believe, since September of last year. So, if you've been actually going through a lot of changes in your life and a lot of different relationships, or a lot of different environments, that's totally natural for what's going on. Or if it's even been an internal type of emotional streamline for you, you're changing who you are, you're alchemizing things, you're prioritizing yourself, and really trying to have a steady foundation and where you're headed. And that requires a lot of focus, and it requires a lot of inspiration to keep you going so that you don't actually stop the process itself and lie dormant and just where you are, not growing. So hurrah for the channel of transitoriness, because it's really helping us through this quarter of initiation and being able to initiate ourselves in our mind. Since this is an emotional gate, it goes through highs and lows, right? So the abrupt shift in your energetic environment, it can happen very quickly. So if you say something, because since this is linked to the throat, which is our manifestation center, we may blurt stuff out and it will manifest into the change that we're potentially not even ready for. So you're like, okay, well, that's the last straw and I don't want to ever see you again, type of energy. So, really assess the emotional capacity that you carry and just allow yourself to take your time within your emotions and not respond right away if it doesn't feel right. Of course, things will organically and naturally come to fruition, whether or not it's correct or seemingly correct, and it'll put you in the place that you're in. And although it's seen as a setback, it will always be a cherished lesson for the future, because it's either ingraining that lesson into your field, or it's telling you that, yeah, actually, I don't want this type of person in my life anymore, or I don't like this environment and I want nothing of it anymore. And it will irrevocably change your whole entire being. So, if you've had any amazing eclipse revelations or something that you felt that is extremely low, just know that you're gonna make it, and that it's not all just your mind making you crazy where you need to take, extra, care to not be crazy. It's the universe, and we have the moon, and the moon is our lunacy, and for the most part, we're going to take the weird and the crazy and the unrational and make it into a part of us that should be seen and known. And all sides receive awareness in your being. So with that taken with a grain of salt and into account, I do want to reveal the questions of the week. Do you prefer to know where people stand with you in relations, or do you enjoy spontaneous fun? What creative ways can you express yourself about your expectations without giving away too much? So this is all about the beginning of a relationship or a connection that you have. And, sometimes we really are being guided and surrendering to the universe and what it has in store for us. We're not really looking for anyone or anything, and it just appears. And you don't really know what you want, because perhaps you've been in a really long, heavy relationship with somebody, and you're just like, I just want to have fun, you know? But what does that look like to the other person? What are they looking for? You know, how can I find out without revealing too much about myself and where I'm at? How can I make it a fun experience to where the fire is stoked and not just flat and 2D, where it's like, these are my rules and these are my expectations, you know? So maybe just sit and enjoy the experience that you're in. Enjoy the chapter that you're in. You know, even if you're not in a new relationship, just enjoy that, you know, energy of, wow, I really crave this right now. And like, where does this lead me? And how am I teaching people with that? What skills have you accumulated that are starting to fit together really well? It's that molding of this unique authenticity, the enigma or enigmatic gold of who you are, because you have the skills and you are the keeper of keys that no one else knows about. So how are you molding that together? Time moves by quickly for those who do the same thing every day. What changes are you ready for? What shifts would make you feel ravishing and confident? Are there any classes or courses or mentorships that you want to take with people to find more of yourself and your voice and your passion for the etheric plane or the physical plane, whatever plane you want? When will you begin to live the life you deserve? What has to fall away for you to have full focus, the time, and the dedication? How are you not serving yourself? How are things keeping you in service? Like time, money. What is really the truth, you know, there? Are you serving time and money, or is money and time serving you? And how can you create the life you deserve from those places? What needs to fit into your puzzle that allows you to understand that there's things that are extremely uncomfortable to learn that, you know, for me are personally economics and politics. And I'm just like, you know what, like, I'm going to take it with the grain of salt. You know, finances and the organization of finances and the life that we're born into isn't quite fair, right? Because we're meant to abide by the laws, and that is what Earth is all about, is living under 48 laws. And how can that be more fun, right? How can I master this plane that is unknown that I fucking hate? And just face it, you know, slowly, bit by bit. So if you're listening to this and you feel like you're in the same place, you know, you're conquering something that feels impossible, just know that you're totally not alone. And yeah, my heart goes out to you. May you stay focused with clarity and find those practices that keep you there. And on that note, I will see you guys next week. I shall be posting the second part 2 video, so that'll be coming up before the next transit. And I will see you all later.